Hello, Megaha. Hello, Cassandra. What are our current feelings towards me? What's our future together? At the moment, this person's kind of hiding away from you. Yeah, maybe let this person be a little bit more by themselves right now, because there's a lot of frustration here. This person might not be able to give you a lot right now, okay? Elisa, may I know if R will come back to me? Thank you. Hello, Karen. How are you? Stay strong. Stay persistent. At the moment, you're mentally struggling with this, but I think if you stay strong and persistent, that this person's going to come back. And be nicer to yourself, because at the moment, your how would I explain it? Your sense of self, even if this person comes back for you, you do not have that space for that. The future for you, Mega Heart, it's hard to define, because I feel at the moment this person's frustrated. If they keep on being frustrated with you, there'll be this cutting of the cord of connection between you. So I think this person needs space. How are you today? I'm going good, Karen. Will Jackson and Bina pass me in technical accounting test and offer me a job? Yes, if she agrees to pay me. Okay, that's alright, Megaha. I think that you might be a little bit too controlling about the offer that you get. I think that it'll be lower than what you expect, and they will not ask any higher. You're very welcome, Elisa. They won't ask you any higher than what you got currently, and you have to, instead of looking at the future, focus on the present and sit there and go, well, is this offer going to get me anywhere? Instead of just the money, okay? Zero to Success Story says current feelings of Ujel mystery for PL Bizwis. How are you today, Karen? Okay, so there's a feeling of more a friendship love, or that kind of friendliness, instead of like full romantic love. This person doesn't want to care and protect Bizwis. It's also that this person doesn't have like romantic feelings, like that imagination's not kicking in. So it's more like a friendship love than anything. A butterfly says, hi Cass, was AK missing me today? Any messages from him? Thank you. Hello Lily, how are you? I don't think so. Not today. There's kind of like this feeling like they need to slow down, because they're thinking constantly of the future and where they want to go. Hello Ariana, how are you too? Lily says career reading. Oh. Okay, there's someone that's close to you that can help you out a lot. I'm feeling more like an entrepreneur friend. This would be a masculine friend, very good at sales, or like that kind of ability to talk to other people. One thing that you should do is be a little bit more subtle, less blunt. And Knight of Cups, you're coming out of your headspace. So I think that you're not getting what you want at work, because you are directing um directing yourself in a way that's not conducive to the other person. So if you want something, you have to make it something that the other person wants, like a win-win situation. And at the moment, you're not getting what you want because you can't describe that to the other person in a way that would make them um, want this to happen better. The three of wands is keep proceeding on. So I do think that you can have this mentor and then continue on. But do write down like what you want and like how to describe to someone this is a win for them too. That's important. um Asha says, alright, current feelings and attentions towards me. There's definitely flirting. This person's winning. So it's kind of like this person was put off this relationship for a while. So that's kind of a hard part, is just like they didn't know whether you had someone, and now they're starting to flirt with you, and they're starting to like, they're struggling and they're winning with this relationship. So I feel like naturally they're a little bit more shy, soft spoken. They don't tend to think about themselves more, like more than other people, you know. Ariana says, does the Scorpio have deep feelings for me? My Scorpio today is like, you criticize me so much. That's my partner. You always say no to me. I'm like, well, no, that's not. And no criticism involved. I was just laughing about people in general, and he took it personally. I think so. This person does seem to do it. You have King of Swords, so even though like it's very interesting, so he's more a mind person. So this is more intellectual. So rationale, and probably logics is where he tends to lie. But he's proceeding on with life, and with the Two of Cups, there is that practical love. So you know, it's coming together. One thing that is a gift that you can give, like a swords, is books, something intellectual, um, because they tend to be more about learning and growing. They tend to be good leaders, but they tend to be very blunt. So if they haven't, yeah. So love Two of Cups, yes. Pucha says, has Naman been ignoring his feelings for me? Yes. That's a simple one. There is kind of a feeling of warming up for you, but it more feels like friendship than it feels like love. Um, I think that they don't do well in love, so they tend to run away from love very quickly. Nikita says, will I be able to complete my alpha target tomorrow? Okay. There's something that you're physically stuck on, so do realize if it has traveling to do or involved in it. There's kind of something that you need to unstick yourself from physically. There might be a physical excuse, reason, that you need to work more on. Focus on the love, not the money aspect. So there is something about, let's say, when I'm stressed, when I'm thinking about money, money doesn't come in for me. There's kind of like this blockage of like that. And when I bring that and I direct it towards love, then the love aspect, you know, kicks in. The Hierophant, you are wise and you'll proceed on. So those are the only two things that I would say that you might not get completely your target. You'll be very close though. So just keep on focusing on that. CG says, question one, current feelings of Navas towards me. Okay, so CG, firstly, this person feels like you're angry or you're very, yeah, maybe a little bit more angry, a little bit more, one thing about swords, because they're quite blunt, every time that they raise their voices or something like that, it can come over as being anger when they don't mean to. They're just can be very passionate sometimes, and that can translate. So this person feels like you're angry with them. Page of Pentacles, they're blocking out the feelings that you have. This might be unintentional. They don't do very well with feelings, so they're kind of blocking that out. A Justice in reverse, they're kind of upset about some things, and you need to talk to them about it, because if they keep on holding on to it, it will become worse and worse until you guys talk about it. Good morning, Jessica. Rupali says, does Mayak realize he's hurt me now? I'm not responding to his messages. Okay, so this person hasn't realized yet, but when they do, they will respond back to you. It's at the moment, this person's very chaotic because they're focusing on money. They're also doing a lot of self-reflection, so it's kind of hard for them to see outside themselves and see how other people are dealing with things. This is not completely without them understanding it, but you know, it's very hard for them to think of other people right now. Samana says, what year will I get married and to whom? Do I know that person? How will it happen? Okay. Okay, so firstly, this person's new. It comes at a point of time that you're like walking away from something. So if you've done a big change of who you are and kind of walked away from that, that's a big predictor that this person's coming into your life. But there's a lot of like the habits or the thought patterns or the things that happened before that are not serving you. So you have this like walked away from it. King of Cups, there is a feeling that this person's very caring, very kind. You said what year? It is kind of in close, but I would say 2024 for you. It's got to be at least a couple of years, just because you're close to getting what you want, but you're not getting there yet. And Temperance, you meet this person when you're kind of feeling not that great about yourself. There's kind of like life has gone off kilter for you, and this person comes in for you. So this person might be a counselor. Not that I would say that they're a therapist, because you can't date if you're a therapist. It's not considered very professional, but they've got some kind of guiding thing, so they might, I think, more spiritual. They're more spiritual in general, so they tend to be able to look after people and they have that spiritual air about them. So I think you'll be trying to discover yourself and you bump into this person. So that's how you end up with them. M says, what do I need to know about my love life with R? What does he want for our future? There's a temptation to feel like you're just not happy because you're not happy, compared to this person's not putting in the work in this connection. And the other thing is that they're getting up and going. So it feels like because you haven't given this person direct what you want. I guess that's what I would say. Is like you haven't given this person what you wanted in this relationship. The temptation is then to be unhappy, and this person doesn't understand because you've been sacrificing for them for so long. And I don't think it's going to get better because this person's just not putting in the work. He hasn't figured that out with the in the years that you've been dating. You can go and talk, like have that therapy, but if this person doesn't understand how much you sacrifice, then they never will. Ariana says, AJ says, and not the Scorpio, does he have good intentions to begin with? He listened to his friends about me and ghosted me, but I still want to know if his intentions were good before that. I think so. I think this person's a very good guy, other than they do listen to a lot to their friends. It might be just because they're young, and this can be the feeling of like youngness, is that you want to fit in, you want to belong to somewhere, and they've really felt that. I think they also feel bad for ghosting you, but it's like too little too late, you know? Mo says, me and Celia. Oh, don't worry about it. No apologies, you know. I understand you're busy, Karen. So me and Celia. It feels like this is a year of like getting to understand that you are very separate people. And these are separate from your parents. So sometimes it's very hard. Um, exactly, Ariana. Ariana. Um, he did. So the thing that I would definitely feel is that you're going to be starting to separate yourself from your parents' beliefs. Both of you. Not yeah. And the Page of Cups is the self-reflection in self. So there's a lot of like discarding old beliefs that don't serve you through generational heritage. So the whole idea of that it takes 4 generations to break old beliefs. And if they're not particularly healthy, you carry them until you can heal them. It's called generational trauma. You can look it up. But the other thing that is that you'll proceed on. So I think that it is going to be a year of stability. There's no kind of up and down here. I think it's just more about learning to be different and understanding that in general. Katie says, how will I do in my exams this week? Okay, so don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't get too wound up. There's also a feeling of control, so relax and ease off the stress. I think that you've been majorly stressed, and you've been majorly stressed because you try to do too many things at once, and you kind of burn yourself out quite quickly. And if you keep on working on that, what'll happen is you just become overwhelmed. Nothing you do gets processed in your brain. However, I do think that you'll pass. It seems like you'll get a good mark. However, you can get higher than this if you just break things down and stop stressing as much. I know that's hard to say because I sit there and go, don't stress. And you're like, yeah, sure. You're not doing my exam for me. Shreya says, hello, ma'am. What is the current feelings of a man towards me? There is a feeling of respect here of who you are. However, this person isn't in plans of getting married or, having like this life event celebration yet. They don't want that. Yes. Yes, as Karen says, there will be 2 live Q&As if you become a member. That's any membership in general. I will be there and you can ask as many questions as you want. So at the moment, there's only 4 people that are members, so that's important. And that you'll just proceed through this year. So it just feels like it's not a year of like big life events for you. It's just slow and steady, and it could just be like money. It's not the right time, timing is very involved. Jazzy Fools says it's fools of fools. Life reading for 2023. Okay, so you are starting your own business, or you're starting a little side hustle, and it's going to go very, very well. So the biggest thing is just to keep on going, keep on proceeding, keep on collecting money and reinvesting it back into what you need to do, and disregard people, especially I think it's competitors that don't like you, or like people in general that don't know you. It feels like there's a lot of like blame or shame or something like that from people that don't know you, and you could just brush it off and go, hey, I'm earning my own money. This could actually be a step up in your career, not just in like starting your own business, but the cards in general is about starting your own business, doing that and keeping it running. Cameron says, will I hear back from the Scorpio again before the end of the week? So, will you hear back? I don't think so. I think that they're aware that they haven't contacted you in a while, but their brain is not like every time they sit there and think about you, it's like, oh no, they'll be busy, maybe it's too late. So it's kind of like this feeling that the desire isn't completely there. So they're thinking about you, but there's just not that. They kind of talk about that, and then they're like, oh, this person will be busy. So don't worry, they will get in contact with you, not this week, but in the next 2 weeks, which is important because they have to ask you something. Okay, so Aldous says H's current feelings for me. At the moment, I don't think that they are particularly great. I do feel like this person's judging you quite harshly right now. Um, And that's down to that they don't know how to communicate with you. There's a feeling of that they think that you're angry all the time, and it's just like they try and remove that anger. So they have this kind of feeling of um running away from anger. It's like there's something in their life that they don't deal very well with anger in general, and they just cut like um shut down or don't talk to anybody. Positive Vibes Tarot says, how are you? What will be Elisa Fatima's married life with her soulmate? So this is going to be an interesting one because there is negative karma that might have been carried over in the past life that will be um, getting resolved in this relationship. So it could be generational trauma more than, but there'll be something that gets resolved, and so therefore it won't be carried over to the next life. The Chariot, you will be moving or you will be traveling a lot with this person. The Sun, like, it's happiness. There is some happiness. A lot of happiness, a lot of days of sun. However, you might bite off more than you could chew with this person. I do feel like they're overly enthusiastic, and they might joke a lot, and that might annoy you. So you have to kind of deal with the annoyance sometimes. There is a feeling of letting go of control, not always being the person that dictates actions, but allowing the other person to take the lead. The Empress, you will have kids in this. I would say it's weirdly enough, I'm going to call it 3 kids in this marriage. They're very cute and adorable, you know. I'm just feeling that very cute kid energy. So there you go. Alina says, what is his emotional situation in his relationship now? Does he in his relationship now, is he satisfied, or does he see separation? Okay, is he happy and satisfied? You're very welcome. Yeah, so he's happy and he's satisfied. I do not see any separation here. I think that there was a lot of differences or a lack of. Yeah, I think that the vibration was very different between you and this current person. So I don't think that there's no separation here. They're very happy towards each other. Um that's what I would say from these cards. Taylor says, did see who met recently like me? She's a friend. Okay, does she like you? Okay. There is a feeling of yin yang here. However, I feel like you're going to have a very slack friend. She's like a little bit flaky. Ace of Wands, you might never get there if you're seeking a relationship with her. It might be always the wrong timing. But if you're talking about a friend in general, I think that she's a very loyal friend. She's just a forgetful friend. There'll be some times that you'll be like, oh yeah, catch you for coffee or something, and she'll forget, okay? Fatine says, Omar's current feelings and intentions towards me. Lumius, just put down your question until I see it again, okay? At the moment, this person's struggling and winning, so they might be thinking about getting in contact with you, but it's more like how you're growing, because they don't want to care and protect you or look after you. So that's the main thing, and they know that you're very focused on them. Like, somehow they know that you are focused. Hello, Alina. How are you? So there you go. Um, you might be getting contacted quite soon. Casimo says, who's coming towards me in love in January month? Okay. Okay, so there's a feeling of walking away from a lot of things that weren't serving you, and there's things coming in for you. So there seems to be some good things coming in because you've let some things go. So a lot of times, if you really want things to change, you have to like leave something behind. Lumius, just copy and paste for me, my love. Leave some things behind so good things can come in for you. But there's a life choice that you're not deciding. So can I try and pick that up? I'm trying to figure out why you're not taking this life choice. I think you hesitate before you commit fully to anything. That's the one thing that's coming to me right now is you don't commit. There's kind of something that makes you not want to commit to anything. And you kind of sit outside the circle. Ace of Wands is reverse, so you're getting something that you want very soon. So I think that you could have a relationship this year. It's just the way that you're approaching it is wrong. So it could be that you're not seeking it out. You're not going matchmaking or using an online platform or something like that where you have a lot more access to people because you're focused on one way, you know, and that's the only thing that's coming through for me. Okay. Charles says, how is G's current feelings and energies towards me, please? This person's seeing how this relationship goes. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for the super chat. The energy is that they're not satisfied yet. I think there's something about the relationships that's not what they want. And there's a feeling of like getting up and going, but it might be that it's not like leaving, it's more like that unsated, but they know that sometimes it's their fault for being unsatisfied. So that's one thing that I would definitely say is they understand that it's not always your fault for the why they feel so bored. So there could be just that you have to introduce some new things in your relationship to keep this kind of interest going. Not that I would say like do what you want to do, but you know. Karen says, has Taurus been telling me the truth that he never not pursued other relationships? Was he telling the truth? It's funny because like the thing is it's true, but like it depends on what time frame, because he did have like a high school sweetheart that he was very, very much in love with. So it's kind of a hard thing, but I think that's past because there's just nothing there. Like, he fell out in contact with her. Um, there's a feeling like she's married or she's, you know, there's just the feeling like she's gone. Um, the moon card, I think he's very much a paragon of his virtues. He he treats other people like he would treat himself. So you got a little bit of a gentleman, by the way, by him being, yeah, he does have standards of contact. Which a lot of people wouldn't have that, where they have certain rules to follow in life. So conduct is very important to him. And the kind of belief of that he's not lying. He's coming out of his headspace, so it could be just that he understands that you might feel insecure right now. Um, but yeah, it's true. Like, I don't feel like there's anybody around, and he's probably forgotten about this one, because it's been so long ago. Like, if you went, oh, were you really, like, had a crush at school, he'd be like, how do you know that? I did. But then, I don't think anybody recently has caught his eye for a very long time. Thank you for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. It's going towards keeping me warm and keep my electricity on. Um, at the moment, that's a problem. I live in the UK and it's not great. Marita says, "What are some of the things that will make me smile in 2023?" Okay, so I think that you're less hard on yourself for sure. Like, you'll be like, okay, if I don't have to work hard at this, I don't work hard at this. You'll be like, nope, not gonna like bust bust my butt for people that don't give a. I was going to rhyme, but I'm like, I don't want to swear here. Um, the other thing that I feel that you do is you just sit there and go, okay, if people are not going to like reciprocate, and you give and give and give, and they haven't really been nice, you just go, nah, not going to get it. So I do feel like some friendships will fall by the wayside because you're like, they're just not friends. They might be more acquaintances than friends. Knights of Cups in reverse. I think you're coming out of your headspace and you're going to see things in such a big color detail. Like, it might be that you take time to study something that you have been very much like, oh, yes, it's only that way. It's only going to be that way. And when you get out of this headspace that's very two-dimensional and you see what's around you, you start seeing like the beauty of things, and very much like the detail behind things. And that will make you very happy to just be, instead of like, I have to do things. Um, there's also a feeling of, if you're single, someone's coming in for you, masculine, feminine energy, the yin and yang. Know if you're like one of these people, and I'm not. If you are dating someone that's the same sex as you, that does mean that the masculine and feminine energy is still in those kind of feelings. So they're locked in place, and that's a beautiful thing because you have that kind of yin yang partnership. This is a very strong thing. This can be an indicator of a twin flame, or that kind of feeling of that singular relationship. But I think because you're funny, you're going to get a very funny partner too, and that's going to be what makes you laugh too. If you already have a partner, you're going to have that one. I don't think it's I think that it's a new person. And you'll know because they'll just make you laugh a lot. Okay, so Purnima says, will my meeting with Achut Apide be good and lovely one after such a long time? I think there'll be a rush of like sitting there going, why haven't we caught up yet? I'm very frustrated that we haven't been talking for a long time. But I think that you should let that pass. The sun, there's a lot of happiness and joy. And I think that you'll be talking about people that you both know, laughing about experiences together. So that's the case. It's always a great thing to see that. Queen Libra says, what is current feelings of Saturn towards me? There's a feeling of focusing on you fully. This is interesting because you're very focused on your career or like earning money in general. It's like a feeling of money. And this person might feel like you're not spending enough time with them because ones are very passionate and you just don't have the time to be around them as much as they would like. So they're feeling a little bit outcast, a little bit lonely at the moment, you know. They're feeling very upset that you don't have that time for them. But there's just a genuine love or a passion there. Ones tend to see themselves as being you as well. Like that whole idea, like, hey, that passion should be driving you as well. Karen says he loved me. Thank you for the super chat, but not in love after I question him so pulled back because his in and out behavior. Now calls and texts me daily his thoughts and feelings. This is interesting because you have drawn back, and so therefore there's a feeling of that he wants now a family with you. There's a very strong feeling of like, hey, this person, I want a family with them. Knight of Cups, he's got out of his headspace. I think that a lot of times he was thinking about what other people would think instead of what he wanted. Karen, that was very strong. That he was. That's why the question. And he's looking forward to this new path. So there's kind of two paths that are opened up for him, and he's just hoping that you take this chance with him. You know, I don't think that he'll admit. I don't think that he admits that he was wrong the first time. Our brain goes through a deletion event. If we don't think that we're in the wrong, there's never going to be a time that we admit, you know, because that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of, you know, and that can be very strong there. So give me 1 second, because you donated so much. Thank you, Karen. It will go straight to bills and stuff like that, I promise. So finances and career, financial issues in a love life right now, and love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. I don't think that you need this card. I think that this is more like, you know, this card. You already know it, so I don't think that it's a big deal. Amir says, what's going on between Neil and the third party? Okay. So, what's going on with Amir and your third party? There's a feeling of that, yeah. So there's still like this nine of cups. So it's kind of like this yin and yang partnership. I feel like it's very strong. You won't be able to pull it away from them. However, you controlling this relationship is you have to let it go, let it go, move on. King of Pentacles in reverse, he's quite selfish in general. There's that very, very selfishness that comes in, um and he's not really caring about the other person as well. So it's not just like you that is not receiving it, but it seems like the compatibility is there. Let it go and see, like, there's a prosperity and abundance, especially in your home. I think there'll be more things coming in because you've let go of it. Doesn't mean that you need to let go of the person yet. It could be just let go of the situation. Don't let it can't like hurt you or, focus a lot on you. Fake health, a reaction when he saw my story today of people there in their story too. Okay, so there was a temptation to be a little bit more chaotic. This could have been a lot more about jealousy, a little bit of anger, like there was kind of like this feeling of the boat being rocked in a little bit, and the frustration being there. But then he was very happy for you, so it kind of was like um being overriding the kind of jealousy and being very happy for you and being very focused on you. So there was kind of this undercurrent of jealousy, but that's changed. So there you go, real love. That was your reading. Savesh says, will I get a comfortable government job in 2023? Please ask by pendulum. Okay. So, will you get a comfortable government job by 2023? Says yes to that. I normally don't see that for people, but it says yes. There you go. Real love, I just answered that. So if you haven't, there might be a little bit of delay. Need to says as current feelings, please. Thank you everybody for your love and support. I would not be here today if you were not that I would be dead, but I wouldn't be here if I wasn't here today. I think this is for Pinky. I need to I think it was for Pinky. Pinky, does past love me? There's a feeling like this person wants to be strong for you, so I would definitely feel so, but it's more like a older brotherly love. Even though it seems more romantic, it feels like this kind of possessiveness. Don't mess with this person, I will absolutely tear you apart. There's a feeling like they're friends like you as well. And there's a feeling of focusing on the future when he should focus on the present. So there could be need to. I will do yours straight away after this one. Sorry about that. So there's kind of a feeling of that if they don't focus on the present, they might not completely have realized how amazing you are. Okay, so need to S current feelings for me. Okay. Sorry about that, need to. Sometimes I do kind of like things do happen. Okay, so the man is fasting you in strongly. There's also Nine of Cups. So this is your yin yang partnership. The happiness of a relationship is amazing. So there is a feeling from these cards that you would get married, or if you are in a marriage relationship, the happiness keeps on going. And there's also a feeling of focusing more on the present than focusing on the future. But you know, like, what can you do? Like this person wants a lot in their life, and they might need to like be a little bit more slower in their kind of taking that on. A butterfly says a general for me and him for the next 3 months, and angel cards. Okay, so there is a feeling like this person has, for better the word, found you annoying. That could be just that they think that you're immature or something. But I do think this comes back to their insecurities. Oh. Yeah, so they have like an undercurrent of insecurities that lie underneath. So they sometimes get really upset about life and they start taking it out on other people. This is going to take a lot of self reflection, and I think they are doing that where they sit there and go, well, why can't I just work on things, you know, instead of like tearing things apart or feeling frustrated. Why can't I do this? The things that like the romance angels cards say, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership, and wedding. This situation involves a marriage. Now, if this person does do a lot of self-reflection, they can be a very good partner. But if they don't work on how insecure they are, they're just going to deal with this insecurity and they're going to make it everybody else's problem. So that's important. I think in the moment I would say no, based on that, is like that blaming. But the whole idea is if he keeps on doing it, he's going to be alone. So Megaha says, Cass, who and when do I get married, current or new? So this seems to be that someone that loved you for a very long time is coming in for you. This might have not been someone that you dated, but still had feelings for you. Do not chase anybody. Allow them to come to you, because if you chase, you might frighten away quite a lot of people. The other thing is the Lovers card is a very strong card. So you guys are either soulmate linked, or there's going to be that very deep connection. The first one is P, and the last one's F, I think. Based on these cards, I would say P and F. This could be switched, but I'm very sure it's a P and a F, and that's the last name. You are going to find them very, very soon. So the cards, I would say it is 24, like that kind of feeling of like you're going to get this very, very soon for you. You might even meet them this year, but you will get married 2024. G Star says intentions on my friend KB for me. Sorry guys that we are going quite slow today. So there's a feeling like this person wants your attention, but not in a good way. They don't know how to get people's attentions without being a little bit annoying. The Ace of Swords, like they're being very direct, very blunt. They're also chasing money, not love. So it feels like this is a friendship, but this person could be possibly on the spectrum because they want the attention and they're blunt and they don't know they're doing it. Constantly lying. Well, they could be constantly lying. Well, probably making up stories. So inflating the truth. Because of the attention card. But with the bluntness card, it seems like I would say that with blunt, they're always telling the truth. But with the bluntness in general, I don't know. But it feels like they might over exaggerate, to be honest. Okay, so Bahati says Anil realize feelings and intentions towards me. Karen, you're a sweetie. Thank you so much. Okay, so their attentions towards you. So they're very different from you. There's a definite difference there. But one thing that I would definitely say to you is that this might be more attraction of differences. However, they do want your attention and they are going the wrong way about it. So they might have to be a little bit more careful. But I think that they have been hurt before because of this attention seeking, and they're looking for red flags in you. So it's kind of a hard thing because they're blaming other people for the behavior, not themselves. This is a hard thing for most people to accept, that they 38 likes, woohoo! Can we get to 100 today? They a lot of times people don't see the problems with themselves. They only see problems with other people, So that's one thing that I would definitely say is kind of that kind of frustration. So, Karen, thank you for the super chat. What can I accept this year as in many blessings and many challenges or challenges? Okay, so the same card came out, is the attention seeking. But this might be attention seeking as universe. So you might be trying to get what you want, but then you're holding on to fear. So it's kind of a hard thing that I would feel is when we are going out and we're asking the universe, okay, the universe, here, I want this thing. And we're holding on to the fear, with fear that we aren't getting it, fear that it's going to happen. There's a lot of fears. Like, the universe will be like, well, you scared of this, or shall we give it to you? You should just sit there and go, okay, how can I approach this that the universe knows that I'm in servitude to it? Like, how can I get what I want and get other people what they want to? That sometimes helps a lot more, is like the act of giving, without any return. And things will naturally happen to you if you give up the attention and you give up the fear. So just accept things to naturally occur for you without that kind of fear-based statement. It can be very hard to let go of fear, and actually asking in the wrong way, because we get taught that when we're kids. Love is coming in. There's a very strong bond for you. In general, this is going to be a very strong bond between you and someone else. A very good relationship there. Hierophant, thank you so much, Tara, for the donation. I will get to your super chat shortly. Thank you. The Hierophant is that you have that intelligence with yourself. So I think that you'll know all the wise moves of this year. The one thing that I would say is you're holding off a life choice that you should choose, because a lot of times non-choices give us a lot more non-choices, and then we're in that bit where if something happens like a domino effect, then we're in this kind of victim mentality, not like, I know what to do. I've put myself in this situation and can get it out. So there's a life choice that I definitely recommend that you choose on, just so then you can go, right, I've got it under control. I've got everything. But I don't see any kind of challenges. It's more like the mindset of this year. And I don't see anything bad. The other thing that I would definitely say is that seek a spiritual connection more this year than, yeah, just doing it yourself, like going in alone. And renew that spiritual connection. You don't have to go to church or any of that, but with that spiritual connection, it will connect you a lot more. Tara Rose says, what would happen if Jacob and I reconciled? So Tara, thank you for your super donation, the super chat donation. That will be going to my electricity bill, so thank you so much. So there is this flirtation to be done. So there's going to be a lot of flirtation. However, I do feel like this, Tara, means that it will still eventually happen where this person leaves, because there's just not enough energy sustaining both of you. I'm gonna pick up a romantic angels card for you. You deserve love, you're lovable, okay? So that's what you need to keep in mind, okay? But yeah, I feel like a lot of flirting, but not enough cementing between you guys. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. So Old Soul says, is Sabai? No, I'm watching him from another account on LinkedIn. I think so. I think he's got like a thought that this is happening, because I feel like this cat knows that he's being watched, and the non-excitement, and definitely you. So I feel like yes to that. TT says, do you see emotional energy between him and me and him? He and I broke up. Okay, so there's still a lot of like this person wants to be your friend. He knows that a lot of that energy, your energy, is directed towards him, but he's like given up and walked away. So this is a very finality thing that happens. So this is calling in your soulmate. Your present affirmations and visualizations help you bring you together and express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Rose says, future reading, please. You're very welcome, old soul. Okay, so there feels like some kind of chaos that you have to take care of. There's also a feeling that you're unsated and unsatisfied at the moment. So with these two, you might need to focus on your priorities, and working on things that you need to do in general, because there's a feeling of disconnect between what you want and how you're going to get there. And the chaos environment, so make sure you're paying your bills, you're kind of doing things on time. You're very welcome, TT. So that's important, and just continue carrying on. Kochu says, current feelings are mitten for me. So there's a feeling like this person's not really knowing what they feel for you. There's kind of a lot of chaotic feelings in depth that they're not thinking about. However, they do have a firm respect for you, and they do respect you for who you are. So it just feels like they are very much in turmoil about how they care for you and how they like you and how much they like you. You know, there's a lot of like confused feelings. I don't think they feel very much love. A lot of times they kind of cut themselves off. So when they start feeling love, they get very confused. Samia says, Llewellyn's current feelings and intentions towards me. So there's definitely a temptation here when it comes to you. So you are very tempting. The one thing, you're very welcome, Kochi. One thing is like he's wise and he's kind of keeping at bay, because he's quite tempted. There's kind of like this physical block here, like keeping away from you. Um, but as soon as this physical block releases, I think that he'll be definitely coming more close. Um, in general, it's just like you're too tempting to stay away. Yeah, so this is why, like, honestly, if you were in the same room, um, I'm going to keep it like general, but you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know. Sweet dreams. I've been putting my question for an hour. I'm sorry, my love. He says he wants to be. No, I think he'll be very wise and he will keep his hands to himself. Sweet dreams, please put down your question again. Chandana says, how and when will I meet my future spouse? I think it'll be at a very boring event. Yes, Samia, it's true. A very boring event, and you will meet someone that you like. So they will come over and talk to you. I think this might be at like a business event? Like something like a networking thing, lots of speeches, you're getting bored. And that's one thing that I would say is like you start talking to this person, you swap numbers, and then you keep on talking to them. But there's a choice here, like a life choice, whether you actually date this person. And I'm very sure you will. It's just that um it's going to have to be a big decision. I don't think this person works for the same company, but they work in the same industry as you. Yeah, and it feels like you'll bite off more than you can chew. However, I do feel like you get married to this person and they're very, I think they're tall and thin. That's the picture that I'm getting from them. But they have a nice smile. That's putting me at ease. They have a very nice smile. And so you'll probably meet this person in the next, I was, it's weird because I said 4 years. Like my brain says 4 years. Yeah, let's say 4 years. In the next 4 years, you'll meet this person. I'd say at the end, more like 3/4 years, with this business event that you just don't want to be there. It's so boring. um, you'll meet this person and then you'll start, like, they offer to date you. I think it's more that than you offer them. Okay, you're very welcome, Rose. Sweet Dreams said, does Daniel move on from me or does he contact me anytime soon? Should I move on from him? Sorry, guys, if you are waiting a long time, you can always come back later, or grab yourself a cup of coffee or something. I'm in the UK, so it's quite late for me. I wouldn't suggest anybody having any coffee if it's too late. So, has Daniel moved on from you? The short answer is yes. There's kind of this friendship, but this person doesn't want to care and protect you. So that's a really like, this is hard because it's also like parents. So it's hard because I think this person does have underlying feelings for you, but they're never going to act on it because they, like, societal norms are more important to them than love. Okay? So there you go, sweet dreams. That's your reading. Nick Jonas says, thank you for doing another one. No worries. Three days in a row. I'm gonna be turning into a pumpkin. Don't expect me tomorrow, okay? I was talking to someone and they're like, "Oh, there is space for you to actually come, and there's tables, but you have to then for my first fare." So I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do this." And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot more money because you have to register for professional indemnity insurance." And I was like, "Oh, okay. This might take me a while." So I'm hoping that I get it by the end of the month. Um and get my, like, business name registered and all that hassle. Oh my god. It's like this rabbit hole. You fall in and you keep on going and you're like, oh my lord. So Nick, okay, are you going to get to Korea? I think that you have to be more direct with someone. Like, honestly, Nick, one thing that I would definitely say is you should start recording videos and you should sit there and go, like, number one date until I go to Korea. And you start planning to go to Korea and stuff like that. And just like, I get people to do like a GoFundMe, and it's just like day two of trying to save up to go to Korea, or, and people would be so interested in that. I think that you're too blunt and you probably look at the small details, but you should take that time to have fun and look at it as being fun instead of being very focused on what can I do. Like, how am I going to achieve the goal? Make it fun, and then it won't be so bad. There's like little money, bits of money coming in, so save up. This could be like budgeting or something, but I think it would be funny if you did like a TikTok or YouTube, like day one of trying to get to Korea, and like you could even have fun where you're like, oh yeah, I'm trying to like buy a paddle boat, and the paddle boat falls through, and you're like, damn it. Like, if I only had like enough money for a paddle boat, I could get to Korea and do stupid things like that. And I think people would love that very, very much, is just being part of that journey. Yeah, exactly. Like, have that fun bit where you're like, okay, and then just put up a GoFundMe. And then, soon as you're in Korea, you just have to write like a huge sign, like thanking everybody that donated. And you're like, thank you, everybody. I'm here. Okay, so Farah says, why can't I stop thinking about my ex Leo? Is it mutual? Ooh, yes, it is, but it's kind of a weird thing. Like, Leos know that. Donated by a super chat. Okay, Karen, I will do that in a second. Thank you so much, Karen. Um, so there's kind of a feeling like this person knows that they're in control about, uh, your thoughts and aspects. They know. There's also a feeling of just like that they know, and they know that you're coming back to them. So it's like, um, they'll be happy that you're back, you know? But yeah, they definitely have that controlling aspect. Be careful, because that control could translate to a lot of things. Um, but they will be happy that you're back. Leos can be very insecure underneath. That's why the whole idea of that feeling of like, you know, like I'm in control, I'm in power, and then you look underneath, and Leos are scared and afraid of being alone. There's a lot of like scaredness. So for Mama 7, am I going to prosper in all aspects of my life without my person? Is it with or without my person? You're both Leo. So do you find that you're very insecure? I always find Leos interesting. Okay, so I think that you'll be fine without this person in your life, because honestly, there's only individual cards here. So it's interesting to say that you have to choose the life choice, and that will divide you both into like this choice. But you need to take this life choice for you to come into your own power. The sun upright means that you actually have to think of your happiness, and think of like, yeah, so happiness and joy and stuff are naturally going to fall into your life. And I think it's just because you take a step back and you start living for yourself. That's one thing that I would say. And you work on your own business, or you work on your own goals in life, and that will make you happy. Thank you, Mama. And thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Baha says, what is his next action towards me? No contact. He doesn't know. He's just going to continue on with his life, but he doesn't know. And one thing is, he's giving a lot of excuses why like something's the way it is. You know, like that person that gives excuses a lot why he's not succeeding or why this relationship's not working and stuff like that. So, you know, that's amazing. That he just doesn't know. He kind of fiddles around in life and doesn't commit to a lot of things. Devona Ward says, Devona Cooper, Cancer, where is my life going? Firstly, you need to save up for something. It's very imperative for you to do so. That's going to change a lot of things. However, make sure that you don't focus too much on the money. So allow money to come in without forcing money, you know? That's a hard thing for them. It's just like, don't force money because money will dry up. If you're forcing it, it will dry up. It's the same as anything else. Like, if you force a brain cell, it dries up, and you're like, what was that answer again? Oh, help me. But that's our lives, isn't it? Prosperity and abundance, especially in your household. So it seems like because of these savvy financial decisions, there's a lot of prosperity coming in for you. But don't overly focus on money to the point that you can only see money, okay? Felicity says, this is my question one. Can I please ask if Russ and I will be in a communication this month? Thank you. Yes, if anyone wants to skip the queue, I'm sorry if it takes me a long time to read, but super chat, I will definitely be very grateful for. So, this is Felicity's. Okay, I feel like yes to this for sure. Because the manifestations here, the Nine of Cups is here, the very yin yang, very energetic connection between you guys, and the Hierophant. So it's wise, it's been preordained. So I wouldn't worry about this. They will be in contact with you this month. Prob says, what would be the outcome of my situation with Sahib if I confess my feelings with him? You're very welcome, Felicity. But he didn't tell me whether he likes me or not. There's a feeling like this person runs away from pretty much everything. He likes you too, but it's very hard for him to convey. He spends so much time doing other things that he isn't emotionally ready for love though. It's kind of a weird thing. But I think that you just have to keep on talking to him, interacting with him, and he will confess his feelings. It's just a shock right now. It's just like, you know how you get like electricity shock, like a, static shock. Hello, princess. It's like a static shock, and you don't know how to deal with it. It's like that, Jing says, how will my visiting my husband go this time? Okay. Hello, Ikanasha? Okay, so there's a feeling of general moodiness, that's probably more directed at you. And the hardest part is this person's not going to listen to your emotions. It's like you want your emotions to be seen, but because your emotions are getting force back at you. There's kind of like a get up and go. You're very welcome, Prob. Get up and go and get what you want. So it's just like, okay, he's not going to address any of my emotions at all. Okay, so Princess says, is there anybody obsessed with me currently? I don't think there's anyone currently, Princess, but that doesn't mean, like, you should let go of control over this thought and allow it to naturally happen, because at the moment I think you're obsessing a lot about like particular people and you want them to like you, and they haven't liked you yet because it's very strong. This kind of, not desperation, but you want them to like you. And so therefore, as soon as you release that control, they will like you, like hugely. So just let it be, you know? Um, but they're coming in for you very soon. I'm very sure that it's in your life already. Lily says, who is the next person that comes to me in love? Okay. Okay, so at the moment, there's no one that's coming in for you for love, because you have to make a life choice and you have to get up and go and meet people instead of them coming to you. So that's the interesting thing. That's important, is like the choice that you make, and then saving a lot of your emotion, because I think when someone really likes you or says they like you, you just spend all your emotions on them, and it's just like, at the moment you should save your energy until they say that they like you, and then do that, because you're kind of giving away your energy and stuff like that, and these people abuse you for that. It's like this feeling of weakness that they see, instead of like realizing that you're just a caring person, and that's a very big strength of yours. So there you go, your reading. Jean says, can I ask if Virgo's in the middle of a divorce? Is he actually lying to me? Nope, he's not lying. I think his ex is taking him for everything he owns. You're very welcome, Lily. Uh, so it's it's a truth. I think it's be more like her initiating this divorce than him, but it's definitely happening. Yeah, she's being very vindictive. However, I don't know how much of this is actually yeah, brought on, like some people just don't, they'll treat their person like crap until it happens, but yeah, she's taking him to the cleaners, unfortunately. Lavinia says, what do you see for me in the future? Well, there's love coming in for you. There's also a wish fulfilled. Are you a very optimistic person? Oh, you could be sometimes pessimistic, but I do feel like a lot of optimism here. So Two of Cups, there is this practical love. You might actually debate a lot of times, so therefore your partner that's coming in for you, or the partner that you already have, is a very practical love. So this is like housemate energy, but loving housemate energy where you guys discuss things on a practical term. The star is a wish fulfilled. So something is happening for you this year that is like a dream come true. You won't believe it until you see it. Ace of Swords, you can be slightly blunt. That doesn't always get you what you want. But honestly, I don't think that it's bad for you, okay? But I would say if you want more people to listen to you, be less blunt. Hannah says, "Does anyone have a crush on me? Who is he?" You're very welcome, Lavinia. Oh, so it's someone that's ex. There's also a friend that's got a crush on you. But yeah, there's an ex that's definitely crushing on you. I think sometimes you can be very oblivious about people that like you, you know? Hannah, so you're very oblivious, but it's a friend and also an ex that is crushing. Umang says, "Will I pass in my final exams in 2023?" Hell yes. Hell yes. So yes, there's going to be a lot of celebrations, but yes. Titilope Labinho. I'll say it could be a Joe, but I'll be Joe. Let's say Joe. Sorry. Is Yusuf love with me uh real or fake? Will I have babies or get married? Okay. I will do a couple of questions Okay, so we'll do a general reading here very shortly. So I'll answer all of them, but I'll give you 4 cards to do so. So the love is real, so that's genuine. However, I don't think that you get to marry and have kids because the Three of Swords reverse is a very strong predictor of heartbreak. However, with your career and business. So we'll go skip through the love life because you've already asked. So with this, you will need to stop biting off more than you can chew. So delegate. Take time to realize that if you're working too hard, that you don't get a promotion, you don't get a pay rise because you can't prove that your work is yours. So do things that will accelerate your career, not hinder it. Actually, this is about home life. So prosperity and abundance in home. So you will be married and you will have kids. So this would be in your love life. This is going to be a while for you. I think that in the next 5 years, you'll be married and have kids. So that's how long it takes for you. Moonseer says, "Is Amin got married recently and will his marriage be successful?" Yes. So this will be successful. There's a little bit of heartbreak, but I don't think it's in this relationship. It's something to do with giving up bachelor life. So it's kind of like this acceptance of things changing. This person doesn't like change very much, but it works. Chadana, you're very welcome. And Shirley says, "Hi, how would be my future spouse journey towards him?" So at the moment, your future spouse is getting in a little bit of trouble. I don't think it's big trouble, but it's just like they are kind of cheeky and they get in trouble a little bit and Charlie. But there's kind of this feeling that you are emotionally affected. Mancia says yes, he is married. Yes. Uh so it's your future spouse is like, cheer up, don't get sad. Because that's the case right now, is you're feeling very much sadness because you haven't met him yet. When you meet him, he's quite cheeky, good-natured fun, but there's going to be a past that he will have to tell you about. So it might just be like he sometimes gets in trouble with the law, but not in a bad way. Not like he's gone to prison, but he might have got some parking tickets or something like that. So he's a little bit sometimes I think he's going to resolve that. So that's why you haven't met him yet, because he's got to figure himself out first. And prosperity and abundance, especially in the home. So you guys meet and you start talking, and I think this is going to be when you realize that he's not as bad as you might think he is. And that's when you get married. Is just like he'll figure himself out, sort himself out, start his own business, and you will be a person that meets him. I think maybe he starts his own corner shop, because I was wondering what kind of business he's got, and it might be like a corner shop instead of like a kind of big business. It's a small business. But there you go. Anna says, hello, Cassandra, please general reading. Okay, so you're struggling and winning on something, so don't worry. You're going to get there soon. You need to focus on the present instead of focusing on the future, and you shouldn't be so hard on yourself when things don't go the way that you plan them to. You can be very mean to yourself in general, and that's kind of a hard thing for you to accept, is that because you have a high standard of yourself, you can have a high standard to others, but I think you forgive them more than you do yourself. So that's your general reading today. Keep on persisting with this. Shan says, is N in a relationship now? Is N in a relationship now? I think so, yeah. From these cards, I would say yes. You're very welcome. Amarita says, Neil's current feelings for me. There's fear, so this person is scared that you will leave. This is important because this person's quite emotional. So there's kind of this feeling of like, not possessiveness, but just a general fear. And when this fear comes up, it can be quite hard for someone to dissociate themselves from feelings of fear, and stuff like that in general. Thank you, Dreams Days, for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's going to my gas and electricity bills, guys. So in general, this is good. And the Nine of Cups, it's very much a happiness there. So feel that kind of happiness where the Nine of Cups. this is a sign that you possibly will get married, because the Nine of Cups is a happiness of relationships. So that can be the case there. But I think other than fear, um, which this person has to address, is like the fear of leaving, because people have done that to them before, and so therefore their normal go-to emotion is fear. Like, are you going to leave? Are you going to stay? You know? Dreams Day says, will KMC confess romantic feelings for me ever? You're very welcome. So, yes, for sure. It's kind of going to be very chaotic, but with the flirting and the Ace of Cups, then yes. Definitely, for sure. When they do admit to it, they'll probably keep on going. They'll keep on like talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. You know, they won't give up. Shriti says, Himastu's current feelings towards me, his next actions towards me, future of the connection. You're very welcome, Dreams Days. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so Shriti says, Himashu's current feelings towards me, it's strength. So this person feels very strong around you. So they're, how would I explain it? They want to prove that they're strong for you. This doesn't mean that this can be a very toxic behavior, but the next one is, the next actions towards you is to feel like you're annoying or you're immature or any of that. And this is because he's being too strong. So it's kind of a hard thing, because when he's being too strong, like, you're welcome. Thank you for the sticker, and thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. So the thing is that he's too strong. He'll then find you annoying. So it's kind of like, oh, why do I have to do this all? You know, and it's not your fault. It's like more toxic masculinity telling him that he's got to be the man or got to be the strongest, and that's kind of tearing him apart. The future of the connection is the struggle and winning. So it's like a, how would I explain it? It's going to take a while for this person to realize that they are doing the wrong thing, and they have to admit it. So it's kind of going to be like, sorry, I realized that was a bad thing to do, and I'm sorry about that. And when they apologize, they're actually going to take steps to not be in that kind of mood anymore. So I do feel like this is going to be consistent relationship and a lot of growth, especially for him. Okay? Sichi says career reading. Evil Eyes. Well, what is it? It's Mars retrograde? Something like that. You're very welcome, Shreti. Thank you for the sticker again, Dreams Days. I appreciate that. So your career reading, honestly, Shriti, you should focus on your skills, what you're good at. You should focus on, how can I explain it? Focus on creating something new for yourself. Now, you're very good around other people, so you could be very good at focusing on CG, on a advertising agency, an agency that sells services, but honestly, you are getting underused at your work at the moment. You're not getting to do what you're actually good at. Prosperity and abundance lies ahead. So I do feel like you get through to other people that you need a promotion, a pay rise. You might start something yourself and grow it to like a lot of money. I'm meaning a lot of money. From this card, I'm like, even if you start at home, you'll be very good at it. Don't focus on the future, focus on the present, okay? There you go. And Kanasha says, is there a career in poetry writing is fruitful for me? Okay, so you're struggling and you're winning with this. So keep on going, you know? Keep on going. There's Ace of Pentacles, so make sure that you submit to poetry competitions. So when a poetry competition comes up, take it. You're very welcome, CG. Take that, because even if you don't get picked, you can ask for feedback. Like, like, what was the criteria for the judges? Like, how do you think that I should improve? And it'll be good, because then you're competing with other people for your poetry. And the other thing is let go of control. So one thing that I was listening the other day is like someone said, if you can do something for 5 years without any hope for return, so you're not looking for a return, you just do it, that you will be better off. You will automatically be better off, because a lot of people give up on something too early. They kill their golden goose way too early. And so therefore you need to have that persistence. Even if it's not like your full-time money, you can still make a lot of money from that. Give me a second. Sorry. That was the other person. No, that was my partner. He made food and he's like, he called me and he's like, I was like, I'm streaming. And he's like, hi, it's you, Aditi. Welcome, Ibarra / Aditi. Sukiana says his feelings towards me in distance, no contact. This is weird because this person is hurting more because of the non-contact than you are, because it's heartbreak and fear are very much directed at this relationship. So that's one thing that I would definitely feel from this, is just the heartbreak. There's so much heartbreak from this. So I don't know why they haven't been in contact with you for a very long time. There's a feeling of like, as soon as you move on, this person will be upset, really upset. Ruchi says, Adasha's feelings for me, everything was going a mess between us, but today I sent him a gift. I think that he appreciates the gift. And there's love. And I think he feels bad that he hasn't given you a gift back. But yeah, there was just like this really, it was a very sweet gesture, and he's very, very happy about that. So I will do a couple of things, like another couple of questions, and then I will finish up for today. I will be back next week on Tuesday. KS says the person on my mind is my future husband. There's a temptation to believe that, but no. No, unfortunately. But says when will be my crush, be my boyfriend. Let go of control, because this is affecting your emotions right now. And as soon as you stop focusing on it, it will happen. You're very welcome. Judge Nee says, is Vincent telling me the truth when he says he needs to recover from his operation and get back to me? I don't see any lying here. I think he is being very, how would I explain it? Very much male. So sometimes male men kind of overestimate how much like they have to like recover. They're going to be in pain all the time. And you think like women have to do, like, if you go and have a baby and complications and you get a C-section, it's major surgery, and then you have to waddle around the house, you know? So I think he'll heal better than he thinks. So he is not lying, but you know, it's not going to take him as long as he thinks. Sumia, and then I will do Fatines and Nisha's, and then I'll finish up today. So, Nisha, Aditya Sai loves me, yes or no? I feel like they don't know yet. You are very much on their mind, but you know, they haven't really figured you out yet. So I would say no at the moment, but they still have that kind of wondering who you are and wondering why there's kind of this caring thing for you. Sumia says, does Nitium love me? Sabrina more than me. No. There is chaos because this person cares for the other person, but they don't love them as much as you. Okay, so Javin, Fatima. You're very welcome. Well, you think that if people like women have to wander around after they've been sliced open, then men would be able to do a lot more work. So who was I on? Was I on Fatima? I feel like I was on Fatima. Does anyone know who I am on currently? Think this is Fatima's. I'll do it because, like, that's who I'm thinking about. Omar's next steps towards you is definite friendship, but I don't think there's any imagination there. So that's one thing that I would definitely feel is it's just friendship than anything else. Javan says, what is AB's current feelings for you? Feelings and perspective of you. That was fast. Okay, so you're quite blunt, but that's fine. Like, you can be quite truthful. Kind of be a little bit more subtle in nature. The sun, there's happiness. There's like a happiness, a brightness to you, and that you're very focused and you want things done. There could be a feeling of like you want them done a right way. So a very particular ordered person you are. Hello, Heart Happy says hello from fans. You should what was it? You should read look up they're a period company called Period Days, and they hook up guys to Period Simulator, and it's so funny. And I'm like, would I survive like level 10? His feelings. Let's pull one for his feelings. There's fear that you are going to leave him, or like he's yeah, there's someone in your life that he's going to be left for. So it's feeling like, oh, it's brilliant. Not the reading. So he's scared and he's afraid, and that's really focusing on him, because that is a very strong feeling of, I can't love this person's going away, but I love them so much, you know? So with the fear, it's kind of like trying to distance themselves before they get hurt, but they still love you, you know? Guy, yes, what's your question, my love? I'm sorry that it does take me a while to get to people. Is the person on my mind my future husband? I did say no to that. I will still say that no. Oh, maybe it was someone else. Sorry. There might have been a couple of people that asked. But yes, it's a no for that particular person. Hello, Serenity. Apana says, can I please know my love life in 2023? Heart Happy, please put down your question. I'll finish that. So your love life, someone's coming back for you. A page of wands, you should be open to change and more adventures, you know? So keep on being more of an adventurous soul. You get too scared and you step back. There's a focus on the present instead of focusing on the future. You're focused very much on the future when you should focus on the present, and like keep thinking about how to bring more love into your life every single day. My question says, what is the cashier long brown hair hope about me now? Where are you come from? I'm Australian originally. Well, still Australian, but I live in the UK, so, you know, sometimes it's funny because my Australian accent comes out strong and then not. She's wondering who you are, because there's like a feeling of caring and then a very over boisterous kind of thing. So when you're excited, you become very, very happy. I think you almost left your cage there. That's one thing that I'm thinking, is like she almost had to chase you down the street. She wants to see you again. I think that like there was kind of this thought, nice to see you. But the thing is that she forgot after she finished her shift. So I think if she sees you again, she'll be very happy to see you. But then she's like, confused whether you're a quiet person or a very extroverted person, and that's the case. Sarah says, does my ex miss me? Not everything about you your ex misses, but they miss like spending time with you. There was some things that they didn't want to do. They don't want to come back because they're scared that it'll happen again. Like, you were very sad during this relationship. There was also a little bit of jealousy or a little bit of possessiveness that came out in this relationship. Now, I'm not going to sit there and go, well, they didn't kind of trigger that sometimes, but in general, this kind of really hurts you. But the whole idea is they're not going to come back because they think this is going to happen again. Apple says, can you tell me when I will have a good friend in the near future? Okay, so you're taking this approach wrong. So approach it from a different place. This could be joining some groups. Like join groups that you have any interest in. You have to realize that good friends are over a period of time, so you have to keep being in contact. Or what was it, uh, someone becomes a friend when you've seen them like 3 different places in your life. So therefore, if you meet them at like a dance class, and then you meet them at the gym, and then you meet them at work, then it's very easy for them to be made into friend. But the whole idea is that you need to keep that time frame. The star is a wish fulfilled. So honestly, I think just being persistent and just signing up and doing a lot of different things right now would bring you a lot more friends. And after that time frame is over. So I think if you are consistent with the people that you see and you meet for a whole year, you will get good friends out of that. If you keep on talking to them, you will definitely get that. So Asni says, did Jay tell about the shipping thing or both of us? If she did, what is his feelings regarding it? He's pretending to ignore it. That is kind of a little bit of controlling. So there could be just that he's like, don't do it again. But in general, I think that this person's very much focused on the future, not focused on the present. You're very welcome, Apple. So Shipra says, ma'am, did I take the right decision for my career this year? Should I opt in for MBA or RBI? Do realize at the moment you need to work on like scholarships or something that you will be able to then not worry about money, because that's very important for you. The temptation is to believe that things will fall in place for you instead of like really just working on that over and over and over again. So it's just like, okay, it would be great if things just fall in place, but they won't. And you should get yourself into the point that you don't have to be worried about money, and then you can focus straight into like doing study. Okay, so I think any of those would be good, but you need the money behind it before you study. Old Soul says, is Sabai happy with his current relationship? How is it these days? He's not happy because he always wants his way. So that's not being very good. And so therefore he's kind of offending his girlfriend and her mom. And so he's looking for other options right now. So it's kind of a hard thing because this person won't find love until they deal with how because all relationships are reciprocal. Some people will contribute like 80 90% and they'll expect like 20% back, and it depends because there's always ebb and flow who puts the most in a relationship. Sometimes people will put more in a relationship and sometimes less in a relationship. Mara says, does a Vishu love Aditi or someone else? I think that he loves Aditi, but there's kind of a feeling that you aren't mature. There's kind of like this feeling like you're annoying him, but he still loves you. And there's a focus on looking at the future, not focusing on the present. So there could be just that there's a hard time for him to deal with things right now. So do realize that it might be frustration from other things that are translating to the relationship that he has with you. Achu says, how is my life in 2023 and what is my advice? Okay, so Achu, at the moment, 2023 looks very, very optimistic for you. You should. There's a couple of things that are vices. So let go of fear and let go of the thought of like chasing money. So the more that you really focus on money, the less it comes to you. The more that you focus on, what was it? Someone said, focus on service, like the act of giving to people, and then money will naturally come to you. When you look after people, money will naturally come to you. So it's kind of a feeling of let go of fear and let go of feeling like there's not enough money. You could probably just write down like 5 things that you could do right now to give you extra money, and just work on that. Real Love says, Cass, when will I meet my future husband, his personality? Well, I'm very sure he's a banker. He's a banker, but he's a very extroverted person when he's not. So it's like a banker slash accountant. He works with finances. He does a very good job, but he's very dry at work. So he doesn't tend to socialize at work. He socializes outside work. So he's very extroverted. He's going to be very caring, but there's like this feeling of uh, not being very romantic when you meet each other. So this could be more like you know each other through friends. I think it's not like this person's going to be your friend. You meet them through friends of yours that introduce him to you. There's also a feeling of Page of Cups. So there's like the self-reflection. So this is going to be, this person would want to like marry you. This might be, I don't think that you met this person yet, but they work in finance or work in accounting. And so therefore you've got to take your time to think about like this relationship before you commit to this. And I think there would be a very quick offer of marriage on the table for you. Jem says, why is my current person being cold cold and distant towards me? Thank you. They're quite stressed right now, Jem. They want to get to something that they can share with you. So it's hard because at the moment they're trading short term for long term gains. So this is going to be hard because that's going to be frustrating. They're winning, and then when they win, they want to share it with you. So it's kind of hard for them right now to deal with the stress, and that's why the coldness, because they don't want to get upset or they don't want to get frustrated with you, so they're closing down because of this. Cameron says, what is Scorpio not telling me regarding his intentions with me that I probably should know? If anyone wants to skip the queue, there is super chat. He cares for you more than you will know. There's also a fear of um you leaving, but he does want to marry you, or like in general there's just like a feeling of like manifestation, like this is something that he wants, but from the outside he doesn't give the game away. He's a very private person, and so therefore he doesn't want people to use his vulnerabilities against him, including people that he loves, because something happened a while ago for him that someone he loved forced that vulnerability, and so now he doesn't trust anybody, including people that are close to him. Farida says, does Allison Capricorn love me? What is his feelings for me? It's hard because I don't think that this person completely knows if they love you or not. There's kind of a feeling of weighing up decision making and figuring out whether they want to stay with you or they want to move on. It's kind of like a feeling of taking choices. This person might not completely have emotional connection with a lot of people. They tend to be more in a feeling of lack than abundance. And Lisa, just put down your question, please. So that's kind of a hard part, is they focus on what they haven't got than what they have, and this kind of screws them over quite a lot. Anonymous says, will I settle abroad in the mid of 2023? There's a feeling like you have to debate where you're going to go. But other than that, yes, you will, Anonymous. But you need to focus a lot on where you want to go and how you want to do it. Because if you just think about it, it's never going to happen. Sana says, have I met my future spouse yet? When will I meet? There's someone that wants to marry you, so I feel like this person is already around you because of the fear base thing, but you might have not met them. Like, what would I say? You met them, but you might not be dating them right now. But they are your future spouse. Um, but you're seeing other options right now. So I do feel like you get married to someone that you know already. And I don't think this is very far away. 1212? Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. That's very much that. Lisa says, question 1, can you tell me about my future husband, please, if there will be one? You're very scared of you not having a partner. It is very hard for you to think of having this. There's something in your past, like something traumatic, that keeps on meaning that you don't feel like you're worthy of love or acceptance. So your sense of self is not healthy enough, like to believe that anything good coming in is yours. So you have to work on your self concept. Believe that things are coming in that are yours, and you're not selfish for keeping them. Page of Wands, don't be scared. Actually, approach the future with a little bit more confidence. And Tower means that you'll rebuild this connection. You probably have met your ex, like one of your exes or your ex is the person that you get married to, but because you had this fear and like the feeling of like everything doesn't go right for me, then that's what happened. Ebola says my person's current feelings for me. So I do feel like you're going to be working on yourself this year, and you'll probably be talking about marriage next year. Okay, so your person's current, oh, they're definitely like good news. Good news on their part. They are definitely chasing you. King of Wands, very direct, very focused on you. So that's a really interesting, but they're quite chaotic right now because they've put a lot of their energy into this relationship. So do realize that they are lusting after you. They are really chasing you. It's very strong. Is he a Cancer by any chance? We'll ask the pendulum here. Is he a Cancer by any chance? So yes to Cancer. Universal Aura, does Satish and Anjali have future marriage? No contact. I'd say no. No to these because this person has no imagination, and that you should actually save up your emotions for the person that's coming in for you instead of that one. Delia says, will Abia marry me? No, I would say no to this. I would focus on the present because this person feels like you're immature, you need to step up. But I feel like you're getting into your power and you won't need this person. And when you step up, they will be like, oh, I'm sorry, I, you know, I stuffed you around, and you'll be like, that's okay, bye. Then Diniqua says, can you please tell me what 2020 23 has in store for my career and love life? Thanks. There's a feeling of like sometimes when you ask for things, you're not asking in the right way. There's a feeling of attention seeking, not just like you're very welcome. Showing love, expressing love. There's also a feeling of tapping into your creativity this year. So tapping into creative solutions, tapping into creative energy to get you somewhere this year. There's also prosperity and abundance, especially coming in for you at home, okay? So work on expressing yourself in a different way, and the prosperity and abundance is coming in for you too. Love reading for me. Surety, there might be a little bit of heartbreak on the horizon for you, but you are better than them, and that it will take a while for you to kind of deal with this heartbreak, but I think you'll be back at it again. Ellen, I'm going good. You? Jael says, my future husband, his way of expression, and you're very welcome. And love. And his physical features. Well, you met this person before. So they have been ex of yours. The Chariot is that you're going to be moving, and this person will come back for you as an option because they have realized your worth. Don't panic, don't get frustrated about this. It's just time for you to sit back and wait for them to really work at it. Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe that you're guided to where you're going to go. So definitely trust that in general. And the love is upright. So this is a very strong connection. A very, very strong connection. So obviously you know what this person looks like right now, but they do have brown hair. A little bit more muscles than I would expect. Doesn't always show up though. And I think you know their personality too, so I don't need to tell you personality. There you go, Jahil. Yes. Yes, it was. You can always go back in time, so if you just missed it, you can pause it and go back. That's the best thing about YouTube is you can replay it while it's still live. Sharia says, hello, does my person's XJ also know my identity, like my name and what I look like? Yes. This person's quite possessive, so yeah. I'm not particularly happy that you're with them. But yes, Sharia, they do. Guy Illy says, general reading for me, please. So there's a little bit of heartbreak going on. Money wise. You might be chasing the money a little bit too much. So take a step back and figure out how you're going to proceed from there. Page of Cups. Take time to self-reflect and proceed on with your course of action. There's a temptation to overdo like flirting. It might be also alcohol. There's some kind of like something that's a that you're overdoing. I think that it might be alcohol or something like that. Don't focus on the small things, see the bigger picture, and this might be just the way that you need to go into your kind of thought is like reflect, maybe meditate and see a bigger picture, and then when you're a step back you actually see things bigger, you know. Emma says, how are you? Am I going to have a grandchild this year or next? Is that your son that lives with you? Because if it is, then I would tell him to get a job right now. Okay. I was a little bit panicked. I was like, oh my lord. It will be a girl. And yes, you're right, Emma, that you're going to get a little girl. You're going to be a grandmother. Congratulations. I think this is at the end of the year, then at the start of the year. It's my daughter? Congratulations. My lords. Oh, that's so cute. Definitely send me photos. I'm sure I've got my Gmail down there. Send me photos. Anki says, how did my XT feel when I text him happy feelings? It wasn't happy. It was kind of like, there was kind of like a coldness here. He appreciated the gesture. I'm very sure. Olaf, I said hi to Oliver today, and when he replied, I did not reply. How does he feel about me? Like you're dramatic, like a drama queen. Nutty's given up and walked away. So it might be stop playing games with Oliver. Olaf. Okay, so Iram says, will Mashud propose to me his current feelings for me? Well, he's definitely chosen you. It's very much, and he is emotionally connected to you. So it's very much like he is emotionally, like, I would say it's love, but I feel like it's obsessive love. For sure. Alan, please put down your question, because it's sometimes when people go, me, pick me, I can't, if you put your question, has he walked away? He has walked away. He's waiting for you to respond though. And see a bigger picture. So this person's actually thinking about the future with you in general. So I think they've got a plan in mind when it comes to marriage and like having kids and stuff like that. So Ellen, please put down your question again, because it's a rolling chat and sometimes I can. So Medallion says, is my future husband Jay? I don't think so. Based on this person still has a thing for an ex of his, and why he still is in love with the other person. You're not going to get him to marry you. This can't happen because he's comparing someone that he knows, and it's romanticized, you know? So BK Lug says, will I be married this year? you will get an engagement this year, but you won't get married this year. BK Luke. Her box says, was Khadija, you're very welcome, Iram. In love with DC before they passed. Yes, unfortunately so. Because of the love things. So yes, you're very welcome. Shan says, what's coming in for me? I will finish up after M tonight. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming. Dipti, please come to next week. Unfortunately, I am going to be finishing this up shortly. So what's coming in for you is like understanding a little bit more wisdom, a little bit more focus for you as well. I think that it's been hard for you to get like a lot more intelligent and a lot more focused on what you want. That doesn't mean that you're not an intelligent person. But the thing is that you are struggling and winning, and you'll find a way to just dive right through that, okay? So M says, what will R like about me? What's coming for us? So there's flirting for sure. There's no marriage proposal, not yet, because it seems like the wisest thing to not get married right now. And there's kind of a weakness. So do realize that this person probably relies a lot on their family, and so therefore if they say no to anything, they don't do anything like that. Okay, so Alan says, do I have a stalker? And his first letter. You do have someone that might have stalked you in the past, but not now. That was an ex of yours. Welcome in, TD. TD or Teddy. Sometimes hard with that 1-8D. So honestly, their heart is healing, so they're not stalking you anymore. But because in the past they used to stalk you. But this seems more like in a checking your Instagram, checking your pages and stuff like that. Mega Harley, I'm Mega Harley, a new subscriber. Welcome in. Divine Soul, is Erwin's family against our relationship? What is he doing about it? Is Erwin? I think so. But he's got a weakness against his family, but he's working hard. He's trying to prove that. That he's actually. Thank you for the super chat, Jean. I'll do that very, very soon. But he's trying to prove that through hard work, trying to convince them that he wants to marry you. There is also that he doesn't see any other option than you, and yes, he's watching your social media accounts. So I think that he is working very, very hard to prove that you are the right one, and he doesn't want another person at all, you know? Dean says, is Virgo a wife a reason for the divorce? Cheating. I think that it was him. Oh. Actually, it's kind of a weird thing in general. So let's go through it and unpack it all because it's a brilliant story, you know. You're very welcome, Divine Soul. So, Jean, one thing that he's not been very good with is listening and addressing her feelings, and so therefore he's never been emotional. So it's kind of hard because she's a very passionate person and he's a very cold person. So what she's done is try to flirt with other people, which has made him even colder. So it's kind of a feeling like she has divorced him, but because he hasn't he hasn't really like um been very caring as a person. So this is kind of the hardest part, and why it took her so long to divorce is she was scared of leaving him. There was kind of like the feeling of um that the finances or something was wrapped up in him, but she's decided that she can't deal without being loved, and so she is leaving now because it's been unsustainable for a very, very long time. Nala says, when will I? Yeah, so that's what I was feeling. It's weird when you're like, oh wait. It's always funny when that's the case. Nala says, when will I get judgment on my divorce case? My judge promised to give me the judgment and still nothing. It will take a while to clear. Like, I think the judge tried, but there's like, how can I explain it? Other things that are in work with this that are going to be harder for you to clear. So that was kind of, it seemed like a clear cut case, but there's something that came up that's um been harder for this to do that. You're very welcome, Jane. But I think that you should keep on working, and I think that you'll resolve it in, like, I would say February. I don't think that it's very long. But there's something that comes up with the finances or something like that that they have to look into because it was important. Oh, my poor little belly is starting to like rumble because it can smell food downstairs. You could tell I'm Taurus. Hashimaran Kurt says, please tell me Sapreet's current feelings for me. We're in a no contact situation. Is there any contact in the future on marriage commitment? What could I do to wait or move on? The problem is that I only see you in these cards, to be honest. And this is like fear. There's attachment of fear. There's also attachment of generalized anxiety. So I don't see this person in general. So you should have plans to move on because this person's moved on. When I don't see someone in the cards, that means that they're not around anymore. Not that they've died, but they just mentally they're not there anymore. So you have to realize that, yeah, there's no point waiting around for someone that's not invested, you know? Like, you're worth more than that. Um, no, I think, Nyla, it's because there's got to be a division of assets, And it was like, how can I explain it? There was something that was like an extra bank account or something in there that they have to figure that out so they can divide the assets. That's what I'm feeling, is like they have to find this particular thing. Asha says, why is my boss not allowing me to change my department? You're very welcome. You're from a media field. I think it's because he cares for you a lot. He doesn't want you to leave this department because he knows that the other department's not very great. So he, like, there's gotta be a plan in place for you to leave. Um, but he doesn't want you to go over there just in case, like, you leave or something because they're not got their shit together. um, it's from a very caring place, your boss is. So do realize it could be that he knows something, like they're all getting fired or something's going to happen and that this is going to be obsolete, but he can't tell you because that's going to put him into trouble. His ex-FA's feelings towards me versus his feelings to his current partner. So this, he still cares about you, but there was a feeling like he couldn't shoot. He didn't know what he wanted with you. It was like this feeling of like yes and then no. The world in reverse. This person's his world, and he's got out of a lot more of his self-reflection when it comes to this person. So it's hard because I feel like he's more at ease and more at home with this person, but that's the case in general. Moonlight says, what are O's attentions towards me? I hope that helps you. No, he's not. But you're not working hard at this. So if he doesn't move, you should ring up the police again. So it seems like, yeah. Even better, just get him evicted. But yeah. If he doesn't leave, yeah, ring them up again. Sam is Sharish. Amjad, will I get married to Izza? His true feelings for me? I think so, but you need to keep reminding him because you need to be in control of this marriage. But yeah, he finds you cute and adorable and a very, very hard worker. There's a feeling of feeling not ready for this, and he's trying to get his life in balance. But I think after he gets his life in balance, then he will be done. Dream Stays, no, Tadam, your reading was just before this one. Okay, so I will do Rimshas and then I will finish. Because I'm going to go and eat my food. Current feelings of N is quite cold. This person kind of shut down in general. When I see this coldness and the shutdown, they're in emotional hurts that they needed to shut down for. And so therefore they're taking a life choice. So Tadam, I said, no, he has he's not going to move. You actually have to ring the police again. But yeah, he's got to take a life choice because he needs to be warm again. It wasn't that long ago. You can skip back and see it. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. And I will see you on Wednesday. Let me quickly pull a thing for Moonlight because she wasn't here. So there's a feeling of wanting to be with you. This person doesn't care what other people say, but there's also a feeling like this person's not ready. This person's not ready for this commitment yet, but they are still really strongly attracted to you. So let's finish it there. I'll see you on Wednesday. Love and light to you all. And if you need a reading, there is paid readings on Etsy. You can, or Ko-Fi. And I'll see you on Wednesday next week. Love you guys. Bye bye.